6 years before Freakier Friday, Julia Butters had her breakout role in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Although there has been much speculation on what Quentin Tarantino's next and supposedly final film would be, his last feature, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is easily one of the most profound of his entire career. By exploring the last days of the golden age of Hollywood, before the violent Charles Manson murders stole the innocence of the City of Angels, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood became a lovely tribute to the industry itself, told through the friendship between the fated movie star Rick Dalton, Leonardo DiCaprio, and his stunt double, Cliff Booth, Brad Pitt. The chemistry between DiCaprio and Pitt is remarkable, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has an amazing supporting cast that includes Margaret Qualley, Timothy Olyphant, Kurt Russell, Al Pacino, Dakota Fanning, Bruce Dern, and Austin Butler, among many others. However, it was the young actress Julia Butters who gave the standout performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, despite her relatively limited time on screen. Anyone who is familiar with Tarantino's body of work knows that he loves writing great scenes for actors who have little more than a cameo in the final film. Stars like Don Johnson in Django Unchained, Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction, Michael Fassbender in Inglourious Bastard, or Michael Keaton in Jackie Brown have an impact on their respective films that spans far beyond the few scenes that they were in. However, Butters was tasked with explaining why actors find their work so fulfilling, which is one of the key themes in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Who does Julia Butters play in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Butters appears in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as the young actress Trudy Fraser, who has been cast in the Western television series Lancer alongside Rick. Rick initially struggles with the role, as he's worried about the impact it will have on his career and finds it difficult to get into character to play a villain. In between scenes, Rick and Trudy share a moment with one another in which they discuss what they are reading, which eventually leads them to discuss why they've decided to commit their lives to acting. Despite the cynicism that Rick feels about his future career prospects, he remembers that he was once as idealistic and spirited as Trudy is now. The conversation empowers him to look inside himself in order to play the role, and he ends up returning to set to give an amazing performance. Although Rick's satisfaction upon nailing the scene is more valuable than any praise he could have received from others, he is deeply moved when Trudy tells him that it was the best acting that she has ever seen. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a film that celebrates the patience and dedication needed to make movies and how it may lead to some sacrifices. Rick recognizes that Trudy is very eloquent and intelligent, as she is reading a book beyond her years, and sees that she accepts the challenges that will come with such a challenging profession. Although Trudy appears to be confident in her abilities, she never becomes an obnoxious child star because her enthusiasm comes from a genuine place. Rick is able to recognize that he doesn't want to be playing a guest villain in a second-rate television show, but Trudy is simply happy to take any opportunity to prove her merits and gain more experience. Although much of this subtext is left unspoken, the strong chemistry between Butters and DiCaprio makes it a very emotional moment. Butters embodies the themes of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Trudy is a character who sees value in acting as an art form and does not have the same concerns about her career as Rick does. While this may reflect her childish innocence, it's also a healthy perspective, particularly for someone like Rick, who can't help but compare himself to all the other actors who bested him for roles over the years. Trudy is genuinely compassionate to Rick, as she knows that helping him give a great performance will boost the quality of the show, which in turn will give them both more exposure. On a meta level, this speaks to the approach that both Butters and DiCaprio took to the scene. Even though she is an unknown actress appearing alongside one of the most famous movie stars in the world, Tarantino creates a scene in which they are treated as equals. Although Tarantino is often accused of being too exploitative with the graphic content that he often includes within his work, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is his most sentimental and accomplished film, as there is nothing cynical about Trudy's major scene. Rick's reaction to being praised by Trudy may have been turned into a meme the moment that the trailer of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was released, but that doesn't in any way diminish Butters' talent. Producer David Heyman stated that she was in even more impressive scenes that were cut from the final film, and DiCaprio likened his experience working with Butters to acting alongside a young Meryl Streep. Butters has gone on to work with Steven Spielberg and appear in the legacy sequel Freakier Friday, but it's her standout Once Upon a Time in Hollywood performance that put her on the map. Halle Berry, 58, serves Bond girl vibes in gorgeous bikini shots from Luxe Vacation. Halle Berry closed out her multi-week road trip across the American Southwest in signature style, lounging in a tiny black chain bikini at the Luxe Amanjiri Resort on Saturday, August 2nd. The Never Let Go actress posed in a chic outdoor hot tub, wearing a gold-chained black string bikini from Monday Swimwear and a black and white Dior straw bucket hat. Wishing every day was Saturday and every month August, Berry captioned her Instagram photo carousel, which featured her soaking up desert views to the tune of Sheryl Crow's Soak Up the Sun. In another video shared on August 3rd, Berry can be seen enjoying a fun summer activity with her family. Her understated glam look included a delicate gold pendant and effortless waves, capturing the vibe of a
shares
woman
a
fully
reflective
in her
message
element.
about
Expired alignments. Later that day, Berry opened up about a personal revelation sparked during her travels. In a candid post, she hinted at closing a chapter in her life, writing about recognizing when doors that used to open are now closed. Have you ever been on a trip where you were so at peace that the universe offered you a surprise realization? She wrote to her 9 million followers. Berry explained that during her journey, she realized she had been outstaying her welcome in a former pattern or routine. You'll notice that things that used to work no longer work. The patterns you once relied on now begin to frustrate you, she continued. Calling it a mass of expired alignments, she added. God is allowing the collapse of things that were secretly limiting you, even if they were once blessings. Halle confronts her fears, rock climbing with Van Hunt and her son. The star didn't just lounge in luxury during her summer break, she also scaled literal cliffs. Halle shared a photo dump of a rock climbing adventure with her 11-year-old son Maceo and boyfriend Van Hunt in Hoodoo Canyon, where she bravely went makeup-free. When was the last time you faced your fears? She asked in the caption. We climbed Hoodoo Canyon and came face to face with ours. This is how we do. Berry kept it casual in a blue and white striped shirt, frayed denim shorts, and hiking boots, her blunt bob flowing in natural waves. Hunt even chimed in under her post, joking, to Hart's loudly crying face, why do I look like my fears conquered me? Inside Halle's PDA-filled summer of desert days and self-discovery. Berry's scenic summer has included stops through Joshua Tree, Lake Powell, Antelope Canyon, and the wild beauty of Utah and Arizona. Just weeks ago, she shared a snap from Joshua Tree in a black and white one-piece and a dramatic oversized sun hat. Desert days, she wrote. Windows down, music up, nowhere to be but here. Throughout the journey, the Oscar winner has mixed glamour, family time, and giving fans an unfiltered look at her life on the road.